Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. The website for Ciro is usgamesinc.com. Feel free to freeze frame there if you need that information or want it. Supportive Oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. There's a Hay House website at the bottom. Feel free to check that out if you want to. Okay. What do we have? Okay, a card just fell out of the deck. That's fun. It's face down, so I guess we'll find out what it is when it's time. So is that. I'm wondering if it's good or bad. I was going to ask, is that good or bad? I guess we'll find out. 1, 2. Just 2? Okay. This fell out. So what is it? It is the Knight of Cups. Okay. I'm a Pisces myself, so I'm like, this doesn't have to be romantic. It could be, but if it's coming in, especially because it fell out and it was face down, flat out unexpected. Completely unexpected. Now, this could be something you're interested in or somebody who's interested in you. There's unexpected connection here. This is flat out unexpected. I know what's going on is kind of what I feel like. When I see this coming in, like I know what's connecting this. There are definitely blocks here. Okay, it doesn't have to be romance, but just, I'm feeling also like a work connection for some of you. You might find what you actually want. It may be kind of like, oh, that's where I want to be, or that's what I want to do. And it comes forward, the information or person, whatever it's going on here for you, is coming forward very, I want to say seductively. So even if it's a work situation, it's kind of like, it looks very enticing, but it's just out of reach. We need more information. How do we get this? Because we need to be empowered with this, right? I feel like what needs to happen is we need to stabilize this as soon as possible. There's this worry of this. You're seeing something, you like it, there's just enough seductive energy, be it work, some other situation, or literally a person, it's pulling you in. For another example, for example, maybe this is you want to do something with stained glass, and you're finding oh, there's a class here, or oh, I found some information online. This is something I could possibly do. And I'm kind of going through the thoughts and going through the motions. It could be a person. I don't want to completely negate that out, obviously, because it's the Knight of Cups. Maybe there's somebody you're finding that you very much like, and it seems like they like you too in return, but I'm worried that it's going to stagnate. We got to be careful with this. 7 of Pentacles? Yeah, 7 of Pentacles, coins, earth, either way. This could end up getting you stuck in a circle. Getting you stuck in this holding pattern. I feel like when this is coming to you, we don't want this to just sit there. We don't want to just kind of keep hovering in the same energy. The other side, whatever it is, has a lot to offer. Queen of Pentacles. Thing is, this is matching in the category of what's not working. Because it seems like there's a lot that is to be offered, but it could just kind of hold there and not actually happen. It's just kind of waiting for a plant to bloom, and you get a blossom, and then the blossom dies off and doesn't produce any fruit. And then you get a couple more blossoms, they get just so far, and then they die off and they don't really produce any fruit. And it's just kind of it kind of reminds me of pepper plants when they're not done right. They just won't really happen. It seems like they're going to happen, but then they don't really happen. And that's what we're in danger of getting in this pattern of constantly thinking something's going to happen, but it doesn't really happen. Is there a way to make this happen is the question. The first part is to recognize the rut. Because I'm like, can we make this happen? Because I'm getting like, there's good energy here, but we got to be careful with it. We can't play and I'm saying this as a Pisces myself, we can't just, okay, I'll wait it out energy. We can't do that. We can't, like, recognizing that this is going to stagnate and just kind of like float there for a while, and kind of like just kind of really like realizing not only that it might float there not just for a while, but it might float there so long that it just never happens. Kind of like using that plant analogy, the flowers come, the buds come, but they die off, no fruit, blah blah blah. This happens just so many times before fall starts coming in. And then fall turns into winter, and that's like, well, that's done. So then it goes into a cold, like, it's kind of like there's going to be a spot where you realize you wasted your time. That's the point. We can't let that happen. Because there is something here. You do have abundance with the Seven of Cups, but the thing is, what is actually there for you? Something is good there, but it's kind of like maybe we need to redefine it. We need to redefine it. Definitely need to redefine it. Where your strength comes from is being very honest with yourself and what's not going to work. Some of you, probably a lot of you, have a pattern where you can look back and be like, oh, you know, I thought that was going to happen, and I got stuck in that waiting cycle. I thought that was going to happen. I got stuck in that waiting cycle. And it just did not change. And it's kind of like part of you, some of you will probably realize that, like, I don't want that. I don't want that again. I don't want to be waiting, and then just be left at the train station and the train never comes. Waited for the train. Wrong train kept coming. Trains for other people, not for me. I want to go north. No trains going north came. And now the train station is closed, so I got to go home. Empty-handed. I didn't get to go anywhere. There's something here, like, but how do you get it? By walking away from it? Trying to make it happen, but then when you realize, okay, I waited, the buds showed up on the tree, whatever, but then they fell off, no fruit. And then saying, all right, once is enough, now I'm leaving. That stabilizes your situation. It very much stabilizes this situation. Because you won't put up with it. You seem to be, if whatever this is, if you don't put up with it, you might break the cycle. The knowledge comes in with the 2 and 3 of Swords, which isn't really... I don't feel like you're upset. I feel like for some of you, especially if it's a person, the other person might enjoy the thought of you waiting but not going very far with the situation. And when you break the cycle, they realize that they missed out because you can't just sit here and wait. And they realize that not only that wasn't going to happen, but then you upgrade your energy to break this pattern, to break this cycle. I feel like you might think about it for a while, and it may take you a minute to get out of the cycle. But like moving your energy on and kind of like, all right, that wasn't going to work, so I'm walking away from it, I'm doing something else. Or especially like the easiest way to look at this is a romantic nature, I know that. Somebody showed you some interest, you tried to show some back, they kind of flirt with you a little, but then they just kind of walk away and they don't do anything about it. It's kind of like, all right, that's not going to work. Even if you still like them, going, okay, now I'm going to go date somebody else, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to just disconnect from them the best I can, and I'm just going to put my energy like trying to meet somebody else. I'm not going to wait for this one, even though maybe there's a very strong pull, which with that Knight of Cups could be a very strong pull. Again, with the business thing, like maybe there's a promotion or something and you're like, I want that promotion, I want to be there. And you try to move forward, you try to put in the effort, and they're like, oh sure, you can do this, you can do that, and you put in the effort, and they're like, well, you did good with that, but we just don't have a spot for you just yet. We had to give it to this other person. But next time around, we'll consider you. Move on. Put your energy in a different direction. Put your energy in a different direction. I feel like there's a lot of ways that could go. Either try for a different position or maybe try at a different company. I don't know. You decide what you need to do with that. But don't keep working in the same direction. When I feel like that's the carrot in front of the donkey. Like people do that. It seems like that's a very prominent work thing in a lot of places where people will do that. especially management, they want something but they can't give you something, so they play that carrot in front of the donkey, and they just see how far they can get you with it to get what they want, but they never really pay you back for it. So we're going down a couple different versions of how this could play, because I'm feeling like this is the carrot in front of the donkey. I feel like that's what this is. And when you stop letting that carrot motivate you, kind of like, I don't want your carrot anymore. Like, if I'm going to really go chasing for something, I want to be able to actually attain it. I'm not going to do the carrot on the stick thing anymore. I'm just not going to do it. You very much stabilize your situation. I feel like something else will actually show up if you're able to disconnect from this. And it's like whatever is actually available, that's where the abundance comes in. Shutting this situation down and walking away from it and just like disconnecting as much as you can from it. For some of you, I do see it's romantic. I'll give you that. And then you got to find a way to disconnect from that person completely. I would say the way I've been successful with that in the past is Paul McKenna, big Paul McKenna fan. It's I don't think it's I Can Mend Your Broken Heart. I used to think that was the title, but it's something with Mend Your Broken Heart, something like that. That if you use those exercises, you'd be surprised how you can move on from somebody who is just kind of toying with you, or at least not showing enough interest to actually make something happen, disconnecting from that and letting something real open. So it's kind of like, I feel like the universe is saying, if you can disconnect from something that's just toying with you, then something real can come in. But you got to identify it for what it is and realizing, even like a job, person, whatever it is, it's toying with you. Your energy has to disconnect from it. When your energy disconnects from it, it's kind of like, all right, I disconnected from that. Well, since I'm disconnecting from that, I'm not going to put up with it from anybody else. I don't allow situations to toy with me. If it's just going to be a toy with me situation, I don't want it. Let me see what else I have. Because you can have a lot more, but I feel like that's the challenge. I feel like that's what this whole reading's about. Realizing something is toying with you and disconnecting from it, you take the power away so that the actual abundance can come into your life. It's kind of like, ignoring the mirage and walking through the wall so you can actually get to what's on the other side, if that makes sense. It kind of reminds me of a hologram like that. Or like, a game of smoke and mirrors, like the fun house with the mirrors, the mirror maze where, there's some walls there that are just pieces of glass or plastic, whatever they are. And you walk into them and you realize, oh, I can't go this way, I can't go that way. So you start like saying, okay, I've tried this way, I've tried that way. Let me keep going back as far as I can. Let me find what's real. Let me stick to the edge and just keep going to the edge and see how far I can go. Once you realize this way isn't working, it's kind of like I have to abandon the maze of mirrors. I think that's the point. I keep trying to go into this maze of mirrors thinking I'm going to find a way through it. And then I'm like, you know what? This maze of mirrors is not for me. I want out. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I just want out. And I know how to get back to the beginning, but I can't get through. I can't get through to the other side, but I can get back to the beginning. So I'm going to abandon this maze of mirrors because there's a lot more things I can do in this situation that I would actually enjoy rather being lost in a maze of mirrors for the rest of my life. Forget it. I'm getting out. I'm going to find a different situation to deal with, and I'm going to actually enjoy my life. I hope that makes sense. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again, and have a great day.